The partnership is with Grab, Southeast Asia's leading super app, and together we are reshaping the global mapping industry. They are going to become VX360's data customers since day one. So from the day that we launch VX360, they're the first customers for the data. They're using it to refine their map making pipeline globally because they want to expand beyond Southeast Asia. And I'm happy that VX360 is one of the few deepened products that will generate protocol revenue from day one. When they started, because there was no proper mapping service, right, navigation service for their drivers, they started to build their own maps. So there's a whole division of Grab, which is called Grab Maps, and arguably, and I will explain you why in a second as well, they are one of the best, if not the best, crowdsourced map-making company. We will have access to Grab's map-making technology, both from hardware point of view and AI software to build and monetize enterprise-grade map features and map-related services together.
Alireza, welcome back to the Building in Public podcast. I was telling you earlier today, I think you're one of our most frequently appeared guests on the show. So I appreciate you always coming on and sharing what you're building. You're a co-founder at Natix. So I want to just take a second to have you remind our listeners what you all are building, just in case they're not familiar with Natix and with the product that you're offering today.
Yeah, thanks, Connor. You guys are my favorite Deepen podcast, or one of my favorite Deepen podcasts. So I would love to always come on board and announce the big stuff that are happening around our project here. For people who don't know what we do at Natix, we are building the largest camera infrastructure in the world without owning a single camera, the same way that Uber has the largest taxi network in the world. It's on-street camera to provide on-street visual data. And we use this data for both map making, but also for physical AI and autonomous driving. So the newest product that we launched into the market, which I came last time to present, is called VX360. It's a little plugin for all the Tesla owners. You plug it into your glove box of your Tesla, and we record the 360 video data from the 4 surrounding cameras of the Tesla vehicle. And then we use this video data both for map making as well as for autonomous driving. We use it for training their foundational model. We sell it to autonomous driving companies for training their foundational model, but also for referencing, testing, and validation.
Awesome. Yeah. And then before we jump into our very exciting announcement that you've come on to share with us today, I just want to give a kind of state of the network for Natix. So last time we had you on the show was December 2024. It's about 5 months ago now. That was to announce the VX360, which was kind of a big product release at the time. You're now at almost 250,000 registered drivers, 170 million kilometers mapped in 171 countries. So you've grown a lot, really expanded across the globe. Besides the announcement that you're about to share, what are some of the biggest updates for Natix since December in terms of just the protocol evolving and business development and everything else?
Yeah, so I think the biggest one is the shipping of VX360 started. We, to be very honest, we said that we will deliver end of March. The hardware was ready, the software was in the app, and we wanted to ensure an optimal user experience. So we delayed that one time only to early May. Now, because of tariffs and everything, we wanted to make sure that our devices, reach to the end user, because it's not fair for them to pay any extra. So believe me when I say for the past few weeks, my team has been working literally 24/7. I've been waking up from 3:30 a.m., talking with the manufacturer, making sure that it goes to our warehouses, gets repacked, and then goes to the end user. And as I'm talking to you, actually, the users have started receiving their devices before even the timeline that we promised them. So that makes me super happy. We promised, we delivered. Out of the drama that a lot of other people are involved in, I think we had heads down focus on making our users happy. So VX360 is going to go live starting from May 2nd. And the data keeps coming in. So what I'm also going to announce today and why I came here is a data customer and a strategic partner. And I'm happy that VX360 since day one, or the data from VX360 would have a home, would have a customer, would have a paying customer, which means in our protocol, buyback and burn and value accrual to the token.
100%. So lay it on us. Let's hear about this partnership, this customer. Who are they? What are the different facets of what you've got going on in terms of the agreement with them? It sounds like it's pretty broad-based agreement. And then, yeah, how do you see it kind of helping Natix and being important for the protocol and the ecosystem going forward?
Sure. So the partnership is with Grab, Southeast Asia's leading super app, and together we are reshaping the global mapping industry. And for the people that might not know this, Grab is not just Uber of Southeast Asia, not just a super app, but when they started, because there was no proper mapping service, right, navigation service for their drivers, they started to build their own maps. So there's a whole division of Grab, which is called Grab Maps, and arguably, and I will explain you why in a second as well, they are one of the best, if not the best, crowdsourced map making company. When I say crowdsourced, that means they also rely on millions of people and drivers to collect them data using dash cams, using smartphones, using even vehicles, using high fidelity cameras, and then they feed this into their pipeline to create maps, map features, even map services like navigation and so on. So the partnership that we have with them is, I would say, multifold. The first one is they are going to become VX360's data customers since day one. So from the day that we launch VX360, they're the first customers for the data. They're using it to refine their map making pipeline globally because they want to expand beyond Southeast Asia. And I'm happy that VX360 is one of the few deepened products that will generate protocol revenue from day one. So I think this is something that we tried to do better this time in the launch of the second product that in the lifetime of Natix we have done, or Natix network. The second fold of this partnership, which is a much bigger umbrella, and it took us a few months to finalize it, is that we will have access to Grab's map-making technology, both from hardware point of view and AI software to build and monetize enterprise-grade map features and map-related services together. So yeah, I mean, many people might not know, but Grab has an entire stack of camera hardware, even a smartphone app, right? So they have been doing this crowdsourced map making for a very, very long time. They have an app, they have a dash cam, they have Tesla, let's say, plugin, which, by the way, VX360, this was also the deal, is using their technology. So they have built it for our requirements based on their core technology. And then they also have a award-winning, it won a Red Dot Award, design award. It's a 360 camera that you can mount on a car or on a scooter, on even on a helmet, and you can start mapping 360, very high fidelity. I mean, this thing really replaces a Google car, right? Because a front-facing dash cam is not gonna replace a 360 data collection. You cannot do, for example, Google Street View kind of replicates of the physical world. The second part of it, aside from hardware, is on the software side. So they have a very solid and advanced technology and a pipeline to convert the images that the cameras are collecting into maps, map features, and map services, right? So for example, extracting traffic lights, traffic signs, all these kind of different map attributes, we say, putting it on a map. They have some very, very insane features as well, which we're going to announce very soon. And we're going to, the first one, or one of the first people or organizations accessing it and working together to monetize it. But yeah, in a nutshell, Grab is becoming Natix's customer, and Natix is also having access to Grab's technology, both from camera hardware point of view and map making pipeline, AI pipeline.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. I've definitely heard of Grab. I used them a lot when I was in Singapore for Token, actually, and it's a fantastic app. I mean, in many ways, I actually liked it more than Uber in terms of like the customer experience, the ease of getting around. It really is a super app in the sense you can do a lot of different things on the platform. And so, yeah, super excited for you guys. It's great that the partnership is kind of multifaceted in the sense that they're going to become a customer, but you also have access to their tech. It kind of reminds me of the partnerships that like Helium has with T-Mobile, for instance, or with AT&T, where it's kind of this like dual exchange of value. And revenue and everything else. Can you share
Exactly.
any specifics about like the economics of how these deals work? So on the buy side for Grab, and also like, you know, like do you have to pay for access to their tech, for instance, on the other side, or how do the economics of these deals work?
Yeah, so we're actually going to build, let's say, map services and monetize them together. So yeah, we're not paying, let's say, for the mapping pipeline, but it's more or less like a joint venture. I don't know if you want to call it a joint venture because there's not a new company, but the deal is working in a way that it's our data, their technology for adding value to our data, and then we're essentially monetizing it together. So just to explain as well why we did this. So since we launched VX360, there are two main, let's say, customer groups for the data of VX360. The first one is map makers. We could sell them street level imagery, or you could also sell them additional, let's say, map attributes and so on. You need a very solid pipeline to do this. You need solid technology because it has to be enterprise grade, and you can even make more money compared to just selling people your imagery, essentially. So we could just sell our own imagery. That would have been not an issue, but using their pipeline to extract map attributes and monetize it, this will increase our revenue opportunity, right? And then there is a whole different direction that Natix is doing anyway, which is to use the surrounding video data of VX360 for autonomous driving applications, right? So for that, Grab is not involved, but Grab is definitely our partner for the map making side of the story. Again, for us to be able to compete with a lot of high map makers that have been in the industry for many years, spend hundreds of millions of dollars into their map making stack, we realize that it's much faster and easier to go to market with one of the best players in the world. And it was a double win as well. You might ask, okay, why would Grab do this? So Grab is relying in Southeast Asia on their own drivers. They have millions of drivers that they're already doing the ride sharing activities, and they give them these camera devices or plugins. They collect imagery data and they build maps for Southeast Asia, right? The technology is, I would argue, one of the best, if not the best, crowdsourced map making technologies out there. But if they want to, for example, expand outside Southeast Asia to US, to Europe, they need the data, they need the driver, but they don't have the ride sharing business in those jurisdictions, right? So it doesn't have to be dependent. And that's where Natix makes a ton of sense, because we can bring the data and feed it into their pipeline and make those services and monetize it together.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. It's like you can still recognize that they've built one of the best crowdsourced mapping, like both contributor bases in Southeast Asia, but also like hardware and software tech stacks. But they can't expand outside of where they have drivers, for instance. And also just because you're focused on this 100% of your time, in terms of you're not doing ride sharing and food delivery, like you're trying to figure out how to incentivize and coordinate people to contribute high quality mapping data. Natix can kind of be like the coordination incentivization layer for
Exactly.
the huge R&D costs that Grab has definitely, put forth over the last few years.
Exactly. And we want to rather focus on the data collection side of the story, and have partners that have capabilities that they can add value to our data, and we can monetize it even at a higher grade, right? So I would say still our core business is Internet of Cameras, crowdsourced camera network, is to collect street level visual data for map making for autonomous driving. But for both of these, we are having partners that can add additional value to our raw data, because we can monetize the raw data. Let's say per unique kilometer it's going to be a few dollars, or per hour of driving data it's going to be a certain amount. But when you process the data, you multifold the value of data, and this is where the real revenue potential is. And that's our strategy. Essentially, that was a strategy to also work with Grab, and it's a similar one also in autonomous driving and physical AI.
Awesome. Well, yeah, big congrats on this. Excited to get the news out and see what kind of, impact it can have on the monetization and tech side for Natix. Is there anything else you want to cover or hit today before we wrap?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. I'm very excited for VX360 to be deployed, to go live in the market, and for us to scale. And yeah, I would say this is just first of the many. This is on the map making side. Stay tuned for the autonomous driving, because there's a lot that we're cooking at the moment on the autonomous driving side, especially. And I believe that will be a game changer for Natix and generally, in my opinion, for Deepin, because I don't see many projects working on the difficult problem of physical AI. Yes, there are emerging projects on this, but there are very handful. Like, I think, Connor, if I ask you how many projects you know that they're working on physical AI, predominantly on physical AI, you probably would name 2, 3, maybe max. And yeah, I think that's a bigger problem. And our data to physical AI, I would say, is a painkiller. It's a different story. So excited to also reveal more there. Yeah, and if you're a Tesla driver, I would ask you to just go to our website and order one VX360, because you don't have to wait anymore. It's going to be shipped to you as of now.
Awesome. Well, Alireza, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Connor, for having me.